Welcome to That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase, where we bring exposure to products, services, and special causes of local businesses and organizations. Thank you so much for joining us. We are coming to you live from the BizLinks TV studio. Brought to you by Southeast Computers, repairs, upgrades, custom builds, and restorations. SoutheastComputersATL.com. Hi everyone, I'm Pamela Alexander and welcome to another episode of That's My Biz. As always, we enjoy bringing to you the wonderful businesses, nonprofits, and associations that we meet when we're out there networking. I have a wonderful guest to introduce you to today, so we want to remind you, make sure you check this episode out again at bizlinks.tv. Also go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/bizlinkstv. Don't forget to subscribe, like the videos, and also provide us comments. Also, you can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/bizlinkstv. Without further ado, I am going to introduce you to our guest today, Ms. Pamela Jones. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
We're excited to have you, and she is with Meditating Motivators, LLC,
Yes.
and she is about empowering others to empower themselves.
Absolutely.
Meditating Motivators is an empowerment company that offers a variety of innovative methods of life balancing, life-changing services, which will guarantee that clients will receive the proper tools needed to live life optimally.
Yes.
We love that. Pamela, first you have to tell us, how did you start Meditating Motivators?
Well, it's wonderful that you asked that. It's so interesting. The company I started in 2008.
Okay.
And I actually had to meditate on that. And it's really interesting with the company coming to Meditating Motivators. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people can come to me and they'll say, wow, that's an oxymoron. So it's a very conversation piece because people don't necessarily
Right.
understand meditating.
Right.
So I always like to say, even with the name of Meditating Motivators, when you think about it, when you focus on so much that's going wrong and that's not happening, like a lot of things going on in the world, I always say that's worry.
Okay.
But when you focus on the things that you want positive, that's meditating. You can meditate washing dishes, you can meditate talking to someone, but it's about learning how to be still and focus on the things that you want. So therefore, motivating people to just be able to meditate and sit still.
Wow, I love that. I think I do a lot of that. I didn't realize I was
Absolutely.
meditating.
Exactly.
So, does it count when you're talking to yourself at the same time?
I do it all the time. I'm
All
my
right,
best friend.
fantastic. Absolutely. Such great advice to give
Hey,
ourselves.
exactly.
So now tell us that what in your background, what got you into this field?
I'm glad you asked that. My entire life has been about health and wellness, the anatomy, everything from every career, my degrees in health and human performance, fitness management, exercise science and physiology, anatomy. I've always been in wanting to know how the body works. And then also with family health history, a lot of things from hypertension to diabetes and different things that's going on. I always wanted to just learn everything that I could about that. So even going through being personal trainers, and I'm also a therapeutic exercise specialist because I want to go take it deeper for people who actually have things that are from diabetes, high blood pressure, coronary artery disorders, even arthritis. So I always wanted to help people, but what I was finding out, and even with this craze right now with fitness, everybody is so focused on these videos and how I can get you slim.
Right.
But what I was realizing over the years is people couldn't break habits. And there may be something that you dealt with when you were 6-year-old that is still holding you back that will affect you physically. So a lot of times I always say, sometimes when a person has a headache, instead of just reaching for something to take to treat it, let's find out what the root cause is. So that whole background, a lot of times when I was working with clients, sometimes cardiologists would be able to say, you have this something, you help them be able to get that confidence level. So I didn't want to just hit them physically. I wanted to approach it mentally, emotionally, socially, and find out where you are spiritually within yourself. So that's the whole key of optimal health. I look at the person as a whole.
Okay. Wow, I love that. So now tell everyone, how does a client normally work with you? Is it individually? Is it group sessions? Or what do you
I
do?
have both. A lot of times I love working individually because I like to get to the root of a person, because a lot of times when you have group settings, I love because sometimes people are not comfortable. But first of all, a lot of times we don't know what we need. We're looking for something, we're searching for something, but we don't know what we need. So a lot of times I'm more comfortable if I can take you, my friend, to go with me. So when I'm working in a group, that's a support system. And then people will realize I need a little bit more work.
Okay.
There's something that's keeping me stuck, or I'm overwhelmed. I don't care if you're even running a successful company. So a lot of times I'd like to reach in there and just be able to say we can work one-on-one. So I love helping a person reach to the root of who they are.
Wow, I love that. So now, and then you work with individuals, so not just professionally in their business life, but
Right.
also in their personal life as well. Talk a little bit about balance, because that's always a challenge, I think, for everyone. So share a little bit of your thoughts about that.
It's great that you asked that, because in the beginning I thought originally was going to just work with women.
Okay. Okay.
Because I was just like, women, we're professional, we're mothers, we're wives,
Right.
and I'm a woman.
Yeah.
So I
Yep,
knew
yep.
the struggles that I dealt with
Right.
over the years, and even when I dealt with death of both parents, siblings, and dealing with child illnesses and different things like that, I realized that people were watching how I was getting through things.
Okay.
So a lot of times people saying you motivate me. So I was wanted to go with them myself. So even when you're going back to asking about who do I see, like
Yeah.
professionals, it's really interesting because it's about character education. Sometimes when a successful person is running a company, they don't realize you have a whole team. If your energy is off, then that will affect the whole flow of the day.
Right.
If you're working with people coming in, you're running a successful company, this business, people, your listeners, your viewers can feel that energy. Either Pam's up or she's down. So that's what we have to be able to give. But it really helps success people be even more successful.
Okay. I love that. And because, I always talk about really is work-life integration. People struggle so much to balance.
They do.
And, and they kind of fight even some natural things. I know when I started my company and I would talk about what I'm doing and they'd go, how's everything else? And I'm like, what everything
Exactly.
else? This is it. This is what I'd be doing if I was doing something different. This is what I do in my spare time. So I quit beating myself up about it and, just really enjoyed it and kind of, integrated what I'm doing. What are you finding nowadays, especially with the hustle and bustle of business and people in their professional lives, the challenge and need to work longer, do more, and all of that? What are you finding with your clients?
I am finding so consistently the more successful a person is, the less time that they make for themselves. So that means if they're making less time for themselves, what do you think the family, children, and everybody else, it's a lot of less time. So it's this mentality, I've got to push, I've got to push, I've got to push. And you and I know as business owners, it takes a lot of time. But we just have to find the time to be able to sit and be still, to focus, to center, to regroup. So I always like to say, rediscover who you authentically are. So when you had that first rush of that idea, oh, I'm going to do this one day before your business took off, go back and give yourself permission during the day to tap into that energy. And that's meditating.
Okay.
When you just focus, even when you see things through, even before coming into this interview, I had to see it through before I even coming in here, to come in and have energy to meditate on that.
Right,
So
right.
so successful people need it even more.
Okay. Well, I love that. And then, so we've got the meditating down. Now, I can already see the motivation. But talk a little bit about that side of it as well. And how do you motivate?
The motivate is I learned every day to change how I viewed my own situations.
Okay.
So I became my own motivator. So every day was a process of me motivating myself to stay focused on my visions, my dreams, my goals. And in the meantime, people will be like, oh my goodness, you're going through this, you're going through that. At one point in time, I was having to have this frustration of struggling because I temporarily lost use of my right side.
Okay.
Very frustrating, but I've got to get out of this chair. I've got to focus on this. I still haven't done this. I still haven't done that.
Yeah.
So I'm motivating myself, and it's contagious. And people would see that all the time. And so it was almost like people would reach out and say, do you do speaking engagements? Do you do? I was, why, yes. So I was saying yes even before.
Right.
But I thought back as a child with my dad asking me what I wanted to do when I was older, and I said I wanted to be a motivational speaker. Granted, I didn't know what that was. I didn't see that, but that was always a vision to be able to do that. So, and even with speaking of my dad, he would always say, it sounded like 5 children outside playing. When I look out there, you be by yourself. So you have to be your own motivator to motivate others, and people just see your natural natural drive.
Wow.
And it's easy for me to motivate because this is my calling.
Okay.
It's not something I'm having to do.
Right.
So you have to be careful that with business is, are you doing something that you're forcing yourself to do? And I love what you just said. I would be doing this anyway because that's your calling.
Right.
So it's really interesting to focus on what your calling is instead of your career.
Right. Right.
So it's really interesting because I have a lot of clients who are therapists, assistant principals, physicians, the ones that are pouring into other people, and they thought that was their calling.
Right.
But it's the helping and reaching and impacting lives is your calling. Those are just your vehicles that you chose to do that. I was a middle school teacher, but I was excellent at doing character education. Who are you? You know, what are you here for? What were you created for? So my calling never changed. I changed it from the hospital setting to the school, everything that I've done, but I always love impacting. So motivator is a natural thing.
Right. I love that. And for those of you out there listening, I hope you all are taking notes, just both for your life and for your business, and truly looking at, like you said, what is it that you're truly called to do, and not confusing that with kind of the career or the task at hand, but really taking that and applying it in the right direction.
Right.
So sometimes if you find that you're not quite enjoying that job, but you think that's what the calling is, maybe it's not the job,
Exactly.
right?
And it's so interesting that you say that is just being able to stay true to what you know and not force that on the people that are around you, but really stay true to it. And the ones that are like-minded, sometimes I hear people say, I'm looking for my tribe. Those that actually have this in alignment will find you. So I always say with the meditative motivators, I always say those that are supposed to be in alignment with me, help send them my way. So it's not just out here trying to reach any and everybody. That's what makes meditative motivators so successful.
Wow.
Is it's everything has a purpose.
Wow. Well, and she's reading my mind because I was going to ask you, what makes you so successful, and it's right there.
It is very unique because I look at the whole person, not necessarily the issue that you're bringing to the table or to the office or to the session, but looking at you as a whole. Let me connect with your soul. Let me connect with your energy. Let me connect with who you are designed to be. It's really interesting because I would always say tap into who you were created to be, but not necessarily limited to who and how you were raised to be. Because outside circumstances can actually make us have belief systems that don't ever serve us as an adult. That was just how we were taught. But we don't take that risk to jump out there to be able to go a little bit deeper. But that's what makes it unique is every session's different because it's about being in the moment. What it is that you're dealing with at that moment. It shouldn't be to where it's so programmed and structured that everybody has the same exact thing. That's routine. That's like herding cattle. So we want authentic because if I'm wanting you to be reacquainted with your authentic self, each session has to be unique. So I always like to say sometimes it's intuitive. So
Right. I love that. So now, and we heard about some of the professionals that you've worked with. Who are some of the other folks out there that should reach out to you?
I've had parents who have reached out to me because teens struggling with self-esteem issues, and because I've always loved teaching health. And health is not about just physical. It is about the mental, emotional, social, all aspects, all the dimensions of wellness. Because we don't understand how to be well. You can be able to have some rock hard abs, but be emotionally broken. And then that would affect how you make all of your choices in life. So I even like working with the youth and getting a jump on them so that way they can establish. The world's going to call you anything, say everything about you. I always love, like, one time I had a situation where a dentist was asking me about, because you're in front of the camera all the time and all these things. Unless my gap is giving me a problem or my jaw structure is giving me a problem, then I will work on that. But there may be somebody in the audience who's connecting with that. This is authentically who I am. And that is what I always want to reach, is who I am authentically, not the outward service or what you seeing as the appearance. So if somebody is hung up on the appearance, that's not my audience. And I don't get attached to that. So I love working with youth, love working with men, because it kind of helped. They was like, you have a way of being able to help me understand how to be able to reach my wife. I've got clients who are successful business owners, but I'm financially taking care of my family, but the wife is needing this, she's needing that, because there's an emotional need that's not being met at the house. Whether it's a minister, people don't think about this, minister, and I always keep my clients very confidential. For that reason, because it's very across the board. And if a minister is out trying to feed the flock, you got to step back to be very mindful what's going on at home, because home, that's your foundation to be able to get out in the world.
Absolutely, I love that. Now, and I have to ask you a final question because of what is going on in the world today that I think really is affecting a lot of people in so many different ways. Social media.
Absolutely.
And just what's going on mentally with people, related to social media. And when you mentioned being authentic,
yes,
the things that we find out there in the pictures, everyone has this image of this fantastic life.
Yes.
But some other things are going on. Kind of talk to me about some of the experiences you may be hearing from your customers, your clients.
That is so excellent. It is not a right or wrong way. Social media is just that. It's a vehicle to get information out. I don't use social media for likes. I need people to know who I am. I'm trying to get people to like me. That's not what it is. It's a vehicle. So sometimes I'm on it, but authentically, I want to give you content. I want to give you who I am. And those that are in search of that will be able to be linked. Now, sometimes I'm on social media. Sometimes people say, if you want to be able to get more people to do this, you need to be able to do this. That's true. Yeah. But I have to meditate and focus on where I am at the moment, because sometimes giving that out too soon will lose people, and then you've lost your credibility. So learn how to just step back and find out, what am I here for? What is my purpose? That's what I want people to just step back. What is my purpose? What am I here to do? Whether you have a spouse, it's different for everybody, but just stay true to that, and you'll be able to walk in your calling. We're always attracting things. There's so much going on in the world. It's duality. We just have to choose what we tune into. I can't change what's happening on the news, but I can give out positive energy where it's needed. It's not for me to jump on the social media and be putting my 2 cents in about this situation, all this kind of stuff, and doing a judgment. Judgment is not for me to do. It is for me to come from a place of pure positive love and energy. So if you can do that, other people will learn how to do that more.
Okay. So for those people that are out there, on the social networks that are craving for the likes, that are doing the things for the likes, what do you kind of say to them?
It's nothing wrong with that. It's great, but you have to know what you're putting out there. If I'm wanting to have my page, bombarded from comments on fashion, this is not a fashion platform. So I'm staying authentic to the content. So this is about empowerment. It's about meditating. It's about self-concept, self-image. So with that being said, people that are on social media, if you're looking for likes, that's brilliant, but just don't get lost in it to where your life is dictated by what the outcome that you're getting on the feedback from the social media. So I pop on and pop off.
So now, I'm not sure how much you can say yet, but a little bird told me that you have a special project that is about to come out. Are you able to share anything about it yet?
I have been trying to spoon feed it a little bit, but I do want to share this. This is so beautiful because, as I mentioned before, both of my parents are deceased, siblings deceased, grandparents deceased. So the people that were closest to me are no longer here in the physical. So I am living every inch of my life on purpose. So with that being said, when I live on purpose, I made a promise. My mom passed away on August 21st, which just passed, and she said, promise me that you're going to go forward with your company, and you're going to go forward with a book that I wrote in 2008. Wow. But I had to rewrite it because it was not the story I wanted to tell.
Okay.
We have a right to tell our own story. So I went through it, and I wasn't going to be pushed with likes or what people thought. The timing is a divine timing. So I kept that commitment, and it's been a lot of hard work, but it's very emotional and meaningful. But it really helps a person understand how to get balanced and physical in your financial, everything about life, your love life, everything. This book is so intense, and I am so delighted that it has come to that moment. So this was the month that I was going to be able to do it, and I laid my mom to rest on August 29th, and right after that is when I was committed to live my life new. So that is the reason why we have a new start now, and this is when the book is coming out. So thank you for asking that, and I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited for you. Definitely condolences, your whole family. We've definitely had loss in our family, and know what that feels like, and excited here that you're celebrating the lives and celebrating their lives and the light that's shown through them. And by doing this, by getting that book out, so congratulations on that. Absolutely. There's so many of you all that are out there. Definitely use this as a motivation for you as well, because there's so many people out there that have books in them that haven't gotten them out yet, or like you said, you may have to do a little rewrite. So definitely move forward with that. Definitely be motivated about that. Pamela, before we go, please tell everyone how they can get in touch with you and how they can get involved working with you.
Perfect. Absolutely. My website is meditatingmotivators.com. My email is pam@meditatingmotivators.com. And my number that I can be reached is 866-435-9157. And again, that's 866-435-9157. In any of those ways I can be able to be reached. I ask questions and be looking for some new upcoming workshops and things, because I'm all about helping people just heal and be whole. So
fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful.
Thank you. Everyone, please go back and watch this episode again. Please share it with your family and friends and colleagues so that they can really learn how to live life optimally. I am Pamela Alexander with BizLinks TV Network. We want to remind you can watch us online at www.bizlinks.tv. Also look out for our Roku channel, and but you can currently catch us out there as well. And then also go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/BizLinksTV. Don't just go out there and like it. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you also give us some comments as well. We'd love to hear your feedback about this episode and our others. Also go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/BizLinksTV. Remember, with BizLinks TV Network, we're exposing your business to the world.
10 years to learn the business. 10 years to make a name. 1 year on your own. It takes time to build a small business, but only 60 days to transform it with email marketing from Constant Contact. Sign up with Constant Contact and get 60 days of free email marketing to generate referrals, connect with clients, and build the business you've always wanted. Constant Contact. Start your 60-day free trial today.
Thank you for joining us. Today's show can be viewed on demand on our website at www.bizlinks.tv. If you are interested in having your products, services, or special cause showcased on our program, submit an inquiry to That's My Biz at bizlinks.tv. In addition, information on advertising and hosting your own show can be found on our website at bizlinks.tv.